Hello students, today we will discuss about the multiplication of a vector by a real number and by a scalar. After that, we find the resultant vector, right? And we will also discuss about the additions of vector and subtractions of vectors. There are the certain rules for the addition or subtraction of vector. If the vectors are collinear, parallel or anti-parallel, then they can be simply added or subtracted. Magnitude can be added or subtracted, but direction depends upon the bigger vector. But if the vectors are at an angles, then how we can add these vectors? Then there are the certain rules for the additions of the vector which are at the angle. There are the three rules for the addition of vector. One is the triangle law of vector addition. Second one is the parallelogram law of vector addition. And third is the polygon law of vector addition. First of all, we will discuss about the multiplication of a vector by a real number. Let's start. Multiplication of a vector by a real number. Let us consider a vector A which is multiplied by a real positive number n. Then the vector magnitude of the vector is increased but the direction remains same. For example, we multiply a vector by the 2, its magnitude becomes double and the direction remains same. This arrowhead indicates the direction and the length of the tail indicate the magnitude. Here you can see the magnitude of this is smaller and magnitude of 2a is larger. Similarly, we can multiply a vector by a negative real number, that is -2. By doing so, the direction can be reversed because of the minus sign and magnitude is also increased, that is twice of the previous vector. A is represented as such, -2 direction is reversed because of the minus sign and the magnitude is increased 2 times. So, multiplication of a vector by a real number results a new vector NA, where n is the real number. The magnitude of the vector becomes n times the magnitude of the given vector, and direction is same or either opposite to that of the A, depends the real number is positive or a negative. Next we have multiplication of vector by a scalar. When a vector is multiplied by a scalar, its result will be a new vector whose magnitude is s times a, where a is a vector and s is some scalar quantity and acts along the direction of a. For example, we take a vector 10 Newton due to east. 10 Newton is magnitude, due to east is direction. It is multiplied by 20 seconds, which is a scalar quantity. Time is a scalar quantity. The new vector will be 10 into 20 due to east, SA, which is the 200 Newton second due to the east, right? Next we have a resultant vector. Resultant vector is a single vector which produce the same effect as is produced by the individual vector, right? Or you have a lot of vectors and the resultant of all these vectors will be given by a single vector, which is called resultant vector. Now, addition of vectors. First of all, addition of those vectors which are collinear. Collinear means lie on the same line. That can be parallel or same line. A vector and the B vector. Addition of these two vectors will give a new vector whose resultant is a plus b. When the angle between the two vectors is 0, they can be simply added by superimpose the two vectors. Now superimpose the a vector and b vector in such a way that the tail of the b coincide with the head of the a. We get a new vector r is equal to a plus b vector. In that case, magnitude of the resultant vector is equal to the sum of the magnitude of the two vectors, and the direction remains same as that of the given vector. You can see the magnitude is increased and the direction remain same. Resultant is a vector plus b vector. Now addition of non-collinear vectors. Non-collinears which are in opposite directions, right? A vector is in the forward direction and b is in the backward direction. Superimpose a and b such that the head of the a and the tail of the b coincide. Here tail of the b and the head of the a coincide. Here it gives a new vector which is reduced in magnitude because the direction of b is opposite in direction, so it will reduce the value of a. So resultant will be a minus b. The magnitude of the resultant vector is equal to the difference of the magnitude of the two vectors, and the direction of the resultant vector will be bigger vector, right? Direction will be given by the bigger vector. Here r vector is equal to a minus b if a is greater than b. If b is greater than a, then b minus a. Now addition of two vectors acting at some angle. For the addition of these vectors, we have some laws. First law is the triangle law of vector addition. Take two vectors a and b. A and b, these are acting in the different directions. Now coincide the two vectors a and b in such a way that head of the a vector coincide with the tail of the b vector. You have to move this vector to at point P. A vector is represented by OP, B vector is represented by PQ. Now move the B vector such that it coincides at point P. Now the resultant of these two vectors is given by the closing side of the triangle, that is third sides of the triangle. OP is a vector, PQ is another vector, and the resultant of these two vectors is given by the closing side of the triangle, that is R vector, right? This is called triangle law of vector addition. Here OQ is equal to OP plus PQ, that is R is equal to A vector plus B vector. The resultant of the two vectors A and B can be found by coinciding the head of the vector A to the tail of the vector B. The resultant R is given by OQ. Next we have parallelogram law of vector addition. In this situation, two vectors are represented by the adjacent sides of the parallelogram. Draw a vector parallel to the OS, which is PQ, and parallel to the OP, which is SQ. OP vector is a vector and OS is represented by B vector. Then the resultant will be given by the diagonal of the vector, right? Representation represented by the diagonal of the parallelogram. So OQ is equal to OP plus OS. OS is parallel to the PQ. So OQ is equal to OP plus PQ, and we can also apply here the triangle law of vector addition OP plus PQ. Next we have when a number of vector acts in the different direction. For example, we have 4 vectors, A vector, B, C, D. These are acting in the different directions. Join these vectors in such a way that tail of the B coincide the A, tail of the C coincide the head of the B, and tail of the D coincide with the head of the C. Then we get a polygon. The resultant of all these vectors is given by the closing side of the polygon, which is represented by R vector. A vector, B vector, C vector, D vector, and this is the resultant which is taken in the opposite order. Opposite order means, in order means head of the one and tail of the other vector. It is called in order. And head of the one and the head of the other vectors are called in opposite order, right? Here the resultant of the A vector and B vector is equal to A plus B. This is a vector. A plus B vector and the C vector. The resultant of these two vectors is given by A plus B plus C. And resultant of the A plus B plus C vector and the D vector is given by the R, which is equal to A vector plus B vector plus C vector plus D vector. Now, we have to do analytical method of the vector addition, which is very, very important. First of all, analytical method of the vector addition by the triangle law of vector addition. The statement of triangle law of vector addition is, if two vectors are represented both in magnitude and direction by the adjacent sides of the triangle taken in same order, then their resultant will be given by the third side of the triangle taken in opposite order. This is the first vector. This is the second vector. These two vectors are in order, are represented both in magnitude and in the direction. The resultant of these two vectors is given by the third side of the triangle, which is taken in opposite order. What is the in order and opposite order? I already told you. Next, we have to find the magnitude of the R resultant vector and to find the direction of the resultant. First of all, to find the magnitude of R, let QPN draw a perpendicular from the Q on the base N. Here OP is represented by A, PQ is represented by B vector, OQ is represented by R vector, and the value of the Pn vector and the Qn vector we have to find. Right? Now, in the triangle QPN, QNP, apply the trigonometric ratios. Qn upon PQ is perpendicular upon hypotenuse, which is the sine theta. Theta is the angle made between the QP and PN line. Qn is equal to PQ sine theta. PQ is represented by B vector, so Qn is equal to B sine theta. Similarly, we can find the value of Pn. Pn upon PQ is equal to cos theta. In the triangle above, Pn is equal to PQ cos theta, where PQ is B cos theta. Now, using Pythagoras theorem, in the triangle ONQ, in the whole of the triangle, OQ square plus ON is equal to ON square plus QN square. Putting the value of ON, R square is equal to OP plus PN square plus NQ square. Open it. R square is equal to OP square plus PN square plus 2OP PN plus NQ square. R square is equal to A square plus B square cos square theta plus 2AB cos theta plus B square sin square theta. Now, b square cos square theta, b square sin square theta, take b square common and cos square theta plus sin square theta, which is equal to 1. We get a square plus b square plus 2ab cos of theta. Here the resultant is given by the r, which is equal to square root of the a square plus b square plus 2ab cos of theta. To find the direction of the resultant, let alpha is the angle between the r and a. Here alpha is the angle. We have to find tangent alpha, which is perpendicular upon base. Perpendicular is qn and base is on, which can be written as op plus pn. Qn is b sin theta and op is a, where pn is b cos theta. So alpha is equal to tangent inverse of b sin theta upon a plus b cos theta. Right? This is the analytical method for the vector addition. You have to learn these formulas, right? These are very, very important. A lot of numerical have to be done on this topic. This is the analytical method for finding the resultant and the direction of the magnitude of the resultant and direction of the resultant.